Hey, what's up, Elijah? This is a demo video for you for your Veracity Labs Magic of Myth Saber and the recessed blade to go with it. This is installed with the Proffie. You had sent this to me. Actually, I think I just got it in the mail yesterday. It had the Veracity Labs crystal chamber, so I'll show you that here in a second. All right, you've got two sets actually of CCS V4 lit connectors. So that's your first one that will touch your blade. The second one is in your chamber. It's a 2-button setup. So your back black switch here will be power. We can kind of focus in on that. This will be power back here. This will be auxiliary up here. All right. You have a kill switch located right underneath the reveal board, or right to the side of the reveal board. Just slide this clamp card back. You'll see your kill switch right there. So we will engage that here in a second. If you ever need to get to your board for any reason, just unscrew this guy right here. All right. For now, it has a copy of your Luke font on here. I believe this is Grumpy Uncle by Kyberphonic. And there's a copy of the config file on the SD card. So when you take that off, you've got access there to your SD card, your micro USB, and you've got a 1.3 millimeter recharge port right here. So you'll need the adapter from the custom Saber shop. If you need a link to that, let me know. I'm happy to provide it. All right, but if you don't need to make any changes, really you don't even need to take this off unless you're making changes or, of course, charging the Saber. In here is a Smuggler's Outpost 28 millimeter Elite speaker. It just says Luke Skywalker there in Arabic. That is a speaker pod. It's a super tight press fit in there, and it's meant to stay in. So this is pretty much, a one-piece deal. I did put on your sound vented pommel, but I used the one with the that has the hidden vents. All right, so let's put this back on the Saber. Screw that down tight. Come over here to your crystal chamber. You just want to unscrew this guy. You and I talked about the grenade sections. So you have the idealized piece that has been installed. It's got the blade side PCB in there and that blade connector. The one with the uneven bars or the uneven rings is in your box. All right, but when you take that off, this is your crystal chamber. This one took a little bit to do. So you were missing a few parts. It was something you and I spoke about anyway, but you'll notice that little brass tube inside of that copper tube right there. You were missing that, so I cut that out of brass. You were missing a few of these smaller standoffs, 4 in total, so I had to cut those and put those in place and make sure that they were exactly the right height. So I got all that done. Got that mesh in there. Got a rather large crystal in there. All right, so it's a real quartz crystal in there. This has its own Neopixel accent. And then as you move up in here into the plasma gate, you have 2 6-pixel accent strips back to back. And I'll show you that they all do some illumination. All right, so that we can light up this guy up here, the brass up here. Let me focus in so we can light up all this area right here. All right, this is your second blade connector. Just put that there so you'd have some extra shine. We'll come over here and slide this back. Flip our kill switch. You've got your red and green working arrows. I've got your crystal pulsing, and I've got this one doing like a slow kit scanner where you can see that shine all the way through until we come over here and hit power. All right, now I just made this ramp up, but I made your crystal go solid. When the Saber's on, the green light will stay on, but the red will pulse. And it all reacts to the auxiliary button being pressed. I'm kind of showing you that all the way around. And you've got twist off. This is a very cool crystal chamber. Probably the 9th or 10th one of these that I've done, and they're all just super cool. All right, so yeah, everything that you were missing parts wise, I put in there and made it look good, so you shouldn't be able to tell anything. All right, we'll come over here and carefully put this back on. Screw it all the way down. Of course, when you have this grenade section locked down and you hit power, you'll get lighting up here. Just like that. Saber's plenty loud. Auxiliary back here, or up front here. Your arrows. And twist off, all right? And I made a recessed blade for you. So the first thing you'll want to do is grab the emitter like this, all right? Because you're going to want to unscrew this top guy right here. You see how that's coming out? We're going to unscrew that and take it off. Put the saber off to the side. This is your recessed blade. All right, so we'll light this all up so that you can see that it works. It is recessed down in there. I did sand this a little bit right here just to help it fit into the emitter a little bit easier. But when you take this off, you'll want to take it, slide it on the blade just like that. All right, or if that's too hard or if it becomes cumbersome, you can leave it off to the very end. We'll just take the blade like this. First, we want to back up that blade retention screw. The blade retention screw is very important. It has to be engaged all the way into the emitter before you put that emitter ring on. If you don't, it either A, won't fit, all right? When you're trying to screw this on, it won't fit. Or if you don't have it backed in to the emitter enough and you go to screw it on, you might jam it up. So very important to pay attention to where that screw is, all right? When we back that out of there, put this blade in. Sometimes I like to just turn on real quick to give myself a sanity check. That's where I need to be. All right, so we'll go ahead and lock it down. When you lock the blade retention down onto this blade, crank down on it. All right, my Allen key is a little worn out, and it's not gonna crank as much as I need to. So I'm gonna leave this off for now, but you would tighten that up. Come take this, put it over the tip of your blade, run it all the way down, and then screw it in. All right, I'll screw it in a little bit, about right there. But crank down on that blade retention screw so that you can screw that in all the way. I need to get a new set of Allen wrenches. All right, but that blade's in. We'll hit power. So there's your blade. Blaster bolt deflex is just tapping auxiliary. Blade lockup is holding auxiliary down and hitting the saber. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's your blade lockup right there. See the difference in the color of my hand? Right here, right? If you had more than one sound font, you would tap auxiliary to go to the next one.
Master Skywalker.
Kind of turn that saber all the way around for you so you can see the blade all the way to the tip. All right. And then to play a soundtrack, because this one has one, do a long press on the power. Do another long press to turn it off, just like that. All right, but when we're done, we'll come over here, we'll unscrew this guy. I'm just going to kind of hold it right here. We will loosen up that blade retention screw. I've been saying for the last 20 demos that I need to get a new set of Allen wrenches, and I will do that soon. But anyway, before you put that on, remember, back that all the way into the emitter. You don't want that sticking into the threads at all, or poking out of the threads at all. So that way when we go to put this on, it goes on nice and easy, and you don't have to crank super hard down on it. Put it down until it's stiff and you're good to go. All right, so we'll turn this on. We'll slide the clamp car back. We'll turn it off with the kill switch, which is right here. And it kills power just like it should. You have a static 18650 keep power battery in this guy. All right, but that is basically your Luke Skywalker Magic of Myth. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will get this and the blade out to you Monday morning. All right, thanks, Elijah.